hundreds, new friends, new money, new bands, new hundreds.
Kyle, this shit crazy.
Friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Yeah, my day ones know I post up, so just come through. If you say nothing, you glow up, she can come too. Can't say nothing when he choked up, so just cut him loose. We stay calm when we froze up, that's what diamonds do. Yeah, new island, stay coasting. Can't find it, stay ghosting. My silence is smoking, outshining the ghosting. Headlining the show then, reclining my throne. Fine dining, you know it. Deep diving that whoa, I'm the ruler, I'm known. All of my shooters stay closed, all of my jewelry cold, all of my Ubers are dope. Lex Luthor, my role model. One queen and I throw models. So wet that I need goggles. All business and no drama. Cause all I really need is no commas. And all these logies is this son. Cause all you niggas dogs no colors. So don't apologize, right? You see them still, nigga, just holler. Cause I'm not real, nigga, just holler. Yeah, just holler. Waiting for my downfall, waiting for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Said what you want, let me know, I'ma throw you bone, then watch you go. You didn't even believe in this shit, you tried it once and then you choke. Cause y'all stay sleeping, I stay woke. Making racks and y'all still broke. Sipping on that Henny Coke, y'all laughing, I ain't telling jokes. That's real talk and that time that's ticking, that's real clock. You heard that clipping, that's real Glock. Your life is slipping, that's real shock. My wrist is dripping, that's real watch. My crew stay whipping, that's real mock. My clothes stay dripping, that's real swatch. If you ain't gonna dip, you can still watch, that's real talk, my nigga, Like Afro Man wrote a Coupe de Ville, my nigga, Like Sam Crow, but I'm real grim, my nigga, All this cash flow, but I can't swim, my nigga, Out in Buffalo, let's meet at 10s, my nigga, lot of new bets, all kind of new hundreds, hell lot of new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bets, all kind of new hundreds, hell lot of new friends, praying for my downfall, waiting for my downfall, hell not of new friends, they praying for my downfall, hell not of new friends, said hell not of new friends.
Check, check, 1, 2, ayy, check, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah, ayy, yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just thought that they sat it. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stopped checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a hot king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Now my shit's popping, oh, and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah, that's the thing. Happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah, we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat it. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stop treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit. I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your mouths is just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo, last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat it. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stop treating them nice.
Mr. Strickland! Mr. Strickland!
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Because you are a disgusting fat body!
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
You're insane, gold member!
Swole Normus.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 3184 of the Daily Mother Swole, 85 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes? Bustas, hustles, and yo-hos. It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees.
The fucking Catalina line!
What's going on, fam? Hashtag America the Swole. For a chance to win today's Swole card, we'll give that away at the end of today's episode. It is absolutely fucking freezing in Florida. It's like in the 50 degrees. I'm wearing the cloak of judgment because I am ready to pass judgment on a lot of beaches today. We're going to take some questions. We'll go balls deep. And of course, because today is Friday, it's the FEFcast, we decided to go with the America the Swole card. But of course, we have an overtime segment for members only, and that'll be live in the Daily Swole Telegram chat right at the end of today's episode. So without further ado, make sure you go to the fucking gym. Let's get into today's episode. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, here we go. Let's kick it off with Cerny today in the Swolenormous app. Cerny says, "Hi fam, just wanted to say hi and say hope you all are getting your shit done. Remember, all 7 pillars count." Do they ever? Every single pillar counts. And this is what we've been talking about every day, especially the last couple days. If you're slacking on any one of those, it's going to erode and break down your other pillars. So make sure you focus on all 7. Ryan says, Papa Swolio just started doing the Maximum Swole program. Also looked at the 90-day dash and saw yoga was incorporated into the schedule, but I want to do Maximum Swole. Would it be a good idea to do the Swolga routines on the off days in Maximum Swole for active recovery and mobility? Sure. Absolutely. You can do Swolga, you can do yoga. Remember, the Maximum Swole program gives you different splits, and then on those non-training days, you can choose the yoga that fits you best. So the Swole is a great place to start, but there's also starter classes in the yoga studio. There's level 1 classes, there's yin classes. So there's a lot of different choices you can make, and it really comes down to your experience with training as to which program you should start with. But you definitely want to make sure you're having a large yoga component and mobility component with your training. So definitely a good place to start. And you can also check out the starter classes in the yoga studio. So appreciate the feedback. Okie dokie. If you want to get on the email list, make sure you go to makeemailswoleagain.com. And a reminder that specials are ending this weekend for Fuck Your Resolution. So join us, swolenormousx.com, and get access to the Swole Enormous app and get started with one of our programs like the 90-Day Dash, like Swole Season, like Maximum Swole. We have all those things at your disposal. So don't be slacking this new year. Remember, it's January 24th. How many times are people saying Happy New Year? Does anyone get a Happy New Year anymore? This is what I've been talking about. You make a New Year's resolution, but who's saying Happy New Year on January 24th? Pretty much no one. So make sure you get your shit together and stop connecting your changes and your positive improvements with January 1st. It doesn't matter. Already January 24th, no one fucking cares. No one cares. Did you make those changes? No one's saying, oh, I'm sticking to my resolutions. No, make the changes now. If you didn't on the 1st, if you didn't in November, if you didn't in June, if you didn't 5 years ago when you first found the Daily Swole podcast, hey, any questions? We're still here trying to get lazy beaches to go to the fucking gym. If that's you, start today. Don't miss out on these specials because they end on Sunday. Let's get into some questions. We'll jump right into. We'll load up Instagram Live. Drop your questions in the comments down below. We are into some knowledge cock. We like it. That's how we like it. And we'll keep on thrusting to the end of time. Let's get into some questions on YouTube. First question from Sydney Buckaloo. Papa, in an upper-lower split, how do you work in squats and deads? Or what suggestions do you have for an upper-lower in regard to the bigger compound movements like that? Well, squats you do on a lower day. Deadlifts you don't have to do. You could do any kind of hip hinge. So it really depends. How are you doing your upper-lower split? What kind of volume are you doing? Are you doing 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off? Are you doing every other day? It just factors in. Remember, not the body parts, but the exercise you're choosing need to target the body parts you're trying to accomplish. So in my split, I don't do deadlifts, but I do 45-degree hypers, either with dumbbells or a barbell or with bands if I want to target the glutes more. If I want to do more hamstrings, like a stiff leg deadlift, I'll do good mornings, or I'll do the 45-degree hypers with dumbbells. You could do RDLs for the glutes and hamstrings. Glutes and adductors, I mean, it's not really hamstring exercise. So that's how I work in squats, and I'll generally alternate. It depends on how much volume you're doing for a body part. If you're doing 2 exercises for quads, you could do the same exercise and do 2 sets. If you're doing upper lower, you can also do 1 set and alternate a squat pattern, and the next lower session do a leg extension. So I usually use things like isolation as a way to shift down or to ease off pressure on the joints. So yesterday I did a full body workout. So I did 1 set per body part. And when I do full body, I generally either have an upper focus or a lower focus if I do a full body workout. So if it's an upper focus, I'll generally do leg extensions and curls and stuff for my lower body. But if it's a lower body focus, full body workout, I'll usually start off with lower body and I'll do my compound movement. So I'll do a leg press or a hack squat or a pendulum squat. And then I'll do more intensive movements for my lower body. And then maybe instead for the upper body, either I'll do a pressing movement or maybe I'll do a pec fly I'll do the pec deck for the chest exercise. I might not do a lot of heavy compound upper body movements per se. It depends on how I feel and depends on what I did the previous time. So there's benefits. In other words, an upper lower or a full body split or a combination of the two will allow you to get more frequency in. So what I don't like about doing, let's say, an upper lower every other day or a push pull legs or something like that is I like to train, and I like to train all body parts. And the cool thing about full body is that you get to do it every other day. So I don't have to wait 3 days or 4 days to train my upper body again. I did it yesterday. I get to do it again tomorrow. So I get to pick a different exercise and send it. And micro loading and progressive overload is a lot more readily available when you're training more frequently. So you have to figure out the frequency that's right for you and what kind of volume you can handle on that frequency. So try to increase the frequency first and then adjust the volume accordingly, because you'll be training at a high intensity. So then you can adjust the volume and see what you can recover from. And there's no right answer. If for whatever reason you want to do deadlifts, then you could do deadlifts on one of those days. It is lower body primarily, but you're obviously getting a lot of upper body involved too. But it's really a hip hinge, which is why I prefer other movements for the hip hinge rather than a deadlift, because a hip hinge exercise can target certain body parts a lot better than a deadlift will. And of course, you have to know the difference between conventional deadlift and RDL, a stiff leg deadlift, a Romanian deadlift. There's subtle differences, but it makes a big difference as to what the muscles are targeting or what the exercises are targeting. Jeremy, Noah and I had our doctor's appointment and it went well, including some weight loss. I still need to get my blood pressure down. Any suggestions? Continue as you are. Elimination diet. A lot of times high blood pressure can come from not getting enough electrolytes. So there's a lot of other factors. You're pretty fresh into doing this. So I would just say stay the course. If it went really well, keep going. Focus on quality foods. Stop slacking wherever you might be slacking and stay the course. You're trying to undo a lot of work in the other direction. So make sure you just stay the process. Progress is progress, and you're not going to see leaps and bounds all the time. So make sure that you're sticking with those proper habits and stay the course. You're on the right track. You're in the right direction. Hashtag America the Swole for a chance to win today's Swole. Yeah! Beautiful. And you can ask some follow-up questions too. Fat loss will definitely help a lot. All right, we're on Instagram too, so ask some questions. We'll take this one from Mike Carrick on Instagram to start. If you're watching on Instagram, remember you're only getting the question portion over here on the Real Papa Swolio channel or the Swolenormous channel, depending on where I'm streaming. So make sure you click the link in the bio and go subscribe to the Rumble channel or YouTube at The Daily Swole. The links are in my bio. And of course, you can find merch and memberships and stuff all in the bio. So when we sign off here on the live stream, we're still streaming the podcast on the other channels. So go and subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, catch the whole show and all that. Mike says, you say more than 8 reps is cardio. So is 300 workout trash to put on lean mass? I don't know what that is. What's 300 workout? When I say more than 8 reps is cardio, I'm being hyperbolic. I'm being serious, but it's also hyperbolic. Obviously, 10 reps isn't cardio per se. So I'm just trolling a little bit, but the comment is directionally correct. You don't need high reps to build muscle. You don't need 15 reps. 15 reps isn't for toning. 6 to 8 to put on muscle, 15 to 20 to tone. That's just bullshit. You're just wasting time and energy by doing higher repetitions. And it's hard to gauge your proximity to failure with higher reps. So you're better off doing lower reps and training closer to failure or leaving 1 rep in the tank, and you'll minimize fatigue and improve your ability to recover for the next session. So let's see here. M97. Papa Swolio, how can I get big like you? Eat steak and go to the fucking gym. That's some good advice. Welcome to the show, everyone. Drop your questions in the comments below. Yes, my nips are frozen. I am wearing the cloak of judgment right now. This is my cloak of judgment, so I can judge. I can put the hood on, and it's really the cloak of judgment. Maybe I'll do that. My hair is over. How about that? How about that? Now I got to turn on the air conditioning because it's fucking hot. Let's jack that up a little bit. Go to the fucking gym, Skywalker. All right. Cloak of judgment, full effect. Oh, I like it. Oh, I like this. It looks very, look at this. I should do the whole podcast like this. Ominous. Yes. Yes. The cloak of judgment. Granny Pam Stein. I think you're on YouTube right now, too. Papa Swole, if you have a quote bucket list, what's on it? How about what's in my bucket? Big pile of steak. Let's go. I don't have a bucket list. I actually never thought about that. To pop out some baby Swolios, that needs to be done. So I haven't really thought about a bucket list. I enjoy my day to day, and I don't set expectations that will stress me out or I'll feel unfulfilled if I don't achieve them. So traveling the world, I've traveled around the United States a lot. I just don't feel like going on planes, and I'm not into it. Not into it the way I thought I once would. There's a time and a place, but everyone's got their own things that they want to accomplish. MUWSA, hey Papa, how do I know if I'm doing everything correctly? You don't have to worry about that because you won't be. You won't be doing everything correctly. You won't be doing everything perfectly. Someone said there's no right or wrong way to live this life. Do what works for you. Well, it's the same thing with training. It's the same thing with fitness. I wouldn't say that there's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's definitely wrong ways to approach certain training and programming, but if you like a certain exercise, then do it. If you like a certain exercise, do it. If you like a certain sequence, do it. If you like upper lower, do it. If you like, and you really like, push pull legs, do it. The question is, are you getting results or are you lying to yourself? So the difference is, are you doing something because you like it or are you doing something because it works? In my opinion, if I do something that works, I'm going to like it. Because the whole point of me training is to build muscles to make progress. So I will like something that works. And if something you're doing is new, it's not necessary that you don't like it. Oh, I didn't really like that. It's different. It might be a little confusing. You have to figure it out. So when it comes to an upper lower split or it comes to a full body session, I used to never think I'm going to do upper lower. I mean, lower I've always done. Most people have a leg day, but to do upper body period on one day, oh my God, everything on one day. I used to never train like that. And then once I started doing upper lower, I made much more progress. So now I'm continuing and I've been dabbling and working on full body splits. And I'm working through those, I want to say the awkward changes, but the psychological approach of, because a lot of times I'll do an upper lower split and I'll do one set per exercise. Well, why do a Monday, Tuesday? I'm just saying, why do Monday, Tuesday when Tuesday, let's say I'm doing upper on Monday and lower on Tuesday, and I'm doing one set per exercise. Well, why do a Monday and a Tuesday when Tuesday's workout will have more fatigue from Monday's workout? What if I just combine Monday and Tuesday? So what that would mean is, okay, a single workout might be a little bit longer. Instead of 45 minutes or an hour, it might be an hour and a half, but then I get a complete recovery day the next day and I get to hit it all again. If you're doing upper lower and you're hitting each body part twice a week, what about hitting each body part 3 times a week or 4 times a week, like 3.5? So the frequency matters. Who do you think is going to make more progress? The person that trains a body part 8 times a month or a person that trains a body part 14, 15, 16 times a month? So the frequency matters and you have more opportunities to progressively overload. Remember, you're only building muscle if you're going to be progressively overloading, which means adding a rep or adding weight or both. So you give yourself more opportunities. So what you have to do is you have to figure out the frequency that you can recover from, learn how to train intensely, and then figure out what the proper flow is for you in terms of the frequency and the volume. Turtle Moods, tell me you live in Florida without telling me you live in Florida. Damn right. It's in the 50s, the apocalypse. If it drops below 60, the world's ending. If it's in the 70s, the hoodies come out. 60 degrees, the nips are iced. 50 degrees, fuck this. Fuck this. It's in the 50s. Thankfully, the sun's coming out like in 2 days. One more day, and that's back to the 70s and 80s. So, fuck the snow. But I like the snow. Okay, then go on a vacation. Go on a vacation. You want to scrape ice off your truck for 9 months? You can keep it. Keegan Govind Sami, whatever. Papa Swole, your view on keto. Good for maybe short, midterm. Everyone's different. In my opinion, not ideal for heavy strength training. We've talked about keto a lot, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it today. This isn't a hoodie. This is a cloak of judgment. Andrews, DMF. Papa Swole, can naps during the day compensate for 6 hours night sleep? I feel like we got this question yesterday. Might be the same person. Sometimes people ask in Instagram stories and they see me go live and they ask in the live stream. I don't think it can can it compensate for 6 hours of sleep? My question is, what are your habits and can you get more sleep in one set? Naps can actually negatively affect your ability to go to sleep that night. I don't think it's a bad thing. Maybe if you take 15 or 20 minutes, you lie down, put your feet up, close your eyes. Maybe you're on break at work. You can get a quality 15 or 20 minute nap. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're chronically underslept. But I would hammer home those good sleep habits and your time management to maximize that first. And when you talk about naps, I don't think doing a 3 or 4 hour nap during the day is a good idea. But 15, 20 minutes before you get into those deep sleep cycles, laying back, put your feet up, take a little cat nap. If you can execute that, that can be a good thing. Juana? Faro, whatever. Juan Alfaro Carton. Juan, best oil for cocking.
Because Dickens?
The best oil for cocking. Well, Juan, I'm glad you asked. What is the best oil for cocking? Oh, that might be the best question ever. So I'm going to answer this as probably how Juan wants to ask the question. The best oil for cooking, and the answer is no oil, using beef tallow or grass-fed butter. Don't use oil for cooking. That's my opinion. Oil is good for cocking, but not for cooking. So, if anything, I would say coconut oil, but beef tallow is superior. Beef tallow. What's the best oil for cocking? Yeah. Cock me up, buttercup. Maybe he means cocking. Misfit got my Optimum Pump t-shirt today. Good choice. Good choice. Optimum Pump is a goated shirt. Great design. Mike Carrick on Instagram. Brief teaching on rep ranges and should you be training to failure versus progressive overload. Let me tease this out. You could build muscle from 3 or 4 all the way up to 25 reps. Less reps. Better judgment of proximity to failure. Less fatigue. It's a better choice, in my opinion. I like 4 to 10 generally, 4 to 8. Should you be training to failure versus progressive overload? Those two are not the same things. You could train to failure and be progressively overloading. The issue is failure is just incurring more fatigue than required. You don't have to attempt that last rep. So if you do a set and you're doing one set for body part and you get to that last rep and you don't make it, that's fine. That's technically hitting task failure. So you would mark that as an F. You would mark that as failure. If you do your last rep and you know you would fail on the next one and you stop, that's 0 reps in reserve. You know you wouldn't get another rep because you're building muscle on the concentric. So should you be training to failure? You can. I would use it sparingly because if you go to failure on every set, you're going to be much more worn out. So if you do a whole set, let's say you do a full body workout and you're doing 10 sets overall and you're training each one to failure, that's a lot of fatigue as opposed to doing all 10 sets to a 0 RIR. Now, sometimes you might hit failure and not anticipate it properly. That's fine. You know that the more you do this, the better you'll be able to judge. And that's why I'm talking about heavier weight. You'll be able to judge whether or not you had another attempt in you. If you're doing 15 reps or 20 reps, it's very hard to know whether you would get another rep or not. And you have to train much more closely up to and likely including failure because you're doing so many repetitions. But with heavier weight, the mechanical overload, the mechanical stress, I would say, is such that you can leave a rep in the tank, by training 4, 5, 6 reps and make approximately the same progress as training to literal failure. So you have to use that at your own discretion. I generally don't try to hit failure, but if I end up thinking I have a rep and I don't get it, okay, then I know. Then the next time I'm trying to get that last rep. So if I got 6 and I thought I can get 7 and I fail on it, oh, okay. Well, the next workout, maybe I'm adding a pound or 2 pounds or 5 pounds and trying to do another 6 reps, or I'm keeping the same weight and trying to get that 7th rep. Or if I do 5 reps and I failed on the 6th rep, the next session, I'm probably trying to keep the same weight and get that 6th rep. So a good way to do it is, let's say you start at about a 4 to the 5 rep range. Once your reps start getting to like 7 or 8, then you can add weight and go back down to 4 or 5. Or you can stay around 5 reps and then you just micro load and add like half a pound or a pound and just try to keep on hitting that 5 reps. So it's about getting the same reps with more weight, or the same weight with more reps, or both. Sometimes you'll feel great and you'll be able to add 5 pounds and do an extra rep. That's progressive overload too. That's fantastic. Good question. OD Nate, does 4 to 6 reps to failure count in bed too? Asking for a friend. Yeah, you just want to go to failure. If you're in bed, and you're plowing, you want to make sure you go to failure. And put the balls in too if you can. The great Dr. Delta on Rumble, Papa Sully, what if people use tallow for cocking? Oof. Oof. Making bacon pancakes. I'm down. Hey, it's edible. That's all I'm saying. It's edible. It's a good question. Jeremy says, I told my doctor all about the Swole fam and she is 100% supportive. She's cheering us on. Good. Sounds like you have a good practitioner. Good stuff. Jessica Catherine on YouTube. I just rendered 4 pounds of beef suet into tallow this week. Half a quart got mixed with shea butter for moisturizer. Good for you. I've never rendered down. I have a 5-pound big thing of beef suet. I've just never actually done it. I've never actually rendered it. I wonder if it's still good. It's been in that deep freezer for a year or 2. I don't know. I got to go through the deep freezer and throw a lot of shit out, I'm sure. It's hard for me to throw out because all the money that was spent on it, but a lot of stuff hasn't gotten eaten. That's the problem with the deep freezer. It lasts longer, but sometimes things just get in the back and they get forgotten. There's a lot of organs in the back that need to be, there are organ meats that I ordered a long time ago that I know are back there that are literally, they've been in there for, no joke, 5 years, and I need to literally throw them out. How can I grow a beard like you? Mario, stop shaving and eat some more steak. Get that testosterone up. Let's fucking go. All right, more questions. Drop in the comments. We'll stay for a few more minutes if we have questions. Let's see. Papa Sully, I'm from Argentina, and I wanted to ask you, is it okay to eat 80% vegetables and 20% protein at lunch? That's a weird question. I don't know how you're measuring that, by weight or by looking at your plate. I would focus much more on protein. Much more on protein. Question from Instagram stories. Papa Sully, advice on starting my social media journey. Well, you need to figure out what you're trying to accomplish. So you need to have a purpose, you need to have a message, you need to have something that you're creating content for, and then find your audience. And then I'm not sure what your goal is for social media. Is your goal to sell products? What's your goal you're trying to accomplish? So you're going to have to try a lot of different things. There's the written word, there's video, there's podcast, there's all the above. You need to have your purpose behind the content and what message you're trying to get across, and build your audience. Be authentic, make content the way you want to, help people, provide the value, build your audience, and then you'll have an audience that enjoys what you bring to the table, and then you can monetize it. Maybe you have products, maybe you get sponsorships, maybe you do X, Y, and Z, but creating content's a skill. There's a lot of different platforms, a lot of different ways to do it. You can get inspired by other people, but just don't copy. And at the beginning, you're going to be copying just because you're looking and getting inspired by what you see other people doing, but you have to create your own voice. And by over obsessing about what other people do, it limits your range for what you'll create. So if you kind of put your head down, create something the way you like doing it. If you like doing it the way you're doing it, that's a great start because you're going to be doing it your own way. And everyone has that little niche that they can create. And then keep after it and keep trying different things. My content doesn't look the same way. We've been doing the podcast for 9 years, but the podcast has changed over time. And I'll continue to change it and adapt it. I'm not married to any one style of content. Those of you that have been following me for years and years or since the beginning, done a lot of different things, a lot of different ways. Darth Swolio. All right, I'm getting hot. The hood, like really, whoo. Man, the hood really sets it off. The hood makes it hot. Wow. It is so much cooler. All right. The great Dr. Delta, question to people who train martial arts. Do y'all lift before or after martial arts training? Oh, we talked about this yesterday. Train first. Train first. Pop out here looking like Voldemort. Check out the Voldemort merch. Swolvada Cadavra. I am Lord Swoldemort. That's one of the OG designs. Mm. Ah. Oh. Mm. All right. Happy Friday. Friday Fefcast, everyone. If you're watching on Instagram, click the link in the bio and come follow over on Rumble at The Daily Swole, YouTube at The Daily Swole, and check out the video and audio on Spotify, on Apple Podcast. Come check it out. Subscribe to the show. Share it with your friends that don't lift or need to lift or love lifting and like making gains and love hearing good bearded rants. Papa, sit on my face. Oof, that'd be attempted murder. We never skip leg day. You don't want that. All right. Limari, Papa Swolio, is it necessary to do ab workouts in order to see definition, or other workouts help if you engage your core? You're always engaging your core. You're not lifting heavy weights and not working your core. If you want to work your rectus abdominis, you want to progressively overload by using abdominal machine that you can have has a weight stack, or they add plates with it, or you use weights or you use bands so you can progressively overload your rectus abdominis, but you're going to see your abs when you lean out. So you would train the rectus abdominis the same way you train any other muscles. People don't see their abs because they're fat. They have more body fat, and your body's going to store more fat around the midsection. So if you can't see your abs, it's because your nutrition habits and your caloric intake and so on. Last chance for questions on Instagram, and then we're going to go balls deep. And then, of course, we have overtime for members. And we have some throwback DWGs. We've got some new balls deep edits. It'll be a fun time, so make sure you head on over for that. All right, going once, going twice. Instagram, come on over to the live stream. We're going to continue on. We're going to end this now. Light on the questions today. It's all good. When you answer... When you answer questions... Okay. When you answer questions all week. When you answer questions all week, people get their questions answered. And then they don't have any more, which is good. That's the goal. That's what we do. How we doing? Telegram chat. Elizabeth, Melissa, Diego. What's up, Beaches? Oliver, 83. I'm going to ask this again. Farmers carries. Do you do them? I like them. Curious about your opinion. I do 75-pound kettlebells in each arm. I don't do farmer's carries. I do dead hangs. So grip strength is great. I do forearm work, and I have a gripper machine. I don't do farmer's carries, though. But you can. Progressive overload is like anything else. But if you're trying to do grip strength, I recommend there's other types of kettlebell work. You can do cleans, you could do snatches, you could do kettlebell swings, you could do dead hangs, you could do all sorts of stuff. Dead hangs, I think, are great for grip strength. You can just set a timer and increase it, trying to get up to 2 or 3 minutes, which is great. You want to be able to do at least probably 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes of a dead hang, and you could build up to that. And of course, if you're trying to work your traps, you want to be doing T-bar rows, any kind of chest supported rows. You could be doing Kelso shrugs. There's a lot of great ways to develop your traps too. I might have to ditch the cloak. I am starting to sweat. Ooh, yeah, I'm starting to sweat. All right, let's move right along. Let's go balls deep. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep. All right, let's watch this video first. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3. We covered a couple of the other ridiculous things. We did this yesterday with the New York Times, not now knowing what a woman is and now knowing what an unborn child is. But let's watch this video from yesterday. This is historical as fuck. Trump signing executive order to declassify JFK, RFK, and the MLK Jr. That's fantastic. What do we got here? Drop your questions. Get rid of that at the bottom. All those classified files. Let's take a look. This is great stuff.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this one.
That's a
For
big one.
years,
That's a big one, huh?
for decades. And everything will be revealed.
I love this part here where he gives the pen to RFK.
Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir. Lastly, sir,
And
we have an executive
get
order
chills. That's
ordering-
fantastic. I cannot wait. I can't wait. So if you don't know, in the Oval Office, on the right, you see the boom mic in the top right-hand corner. There's like 40 people over here. There are like 40 people, reporters. And Biden didn't do this at all. Biden took no questions. He barely talked to the press at all. You guys know that. He was just completely ghosted because he can't handle it. Trump, all day long, every fucking day, has been sitting at this desk signing stacks of these executive orders and answering questions on the fly nonstop to reporters. I think people are literally, their minds are blown. The people that were still stuck in the matrix, all of a sudden, oh my God, this is what a president does. Oh my God, a president actually can take action and talk and speak on behalf of what he's doing and why he's doing what he's doing. He can formulate sentences that make sense and doesn't slur. Yeah, Biden was brain dead. Biden was fucking brain dead. And the best part about this is that Trump's approval rating is higher than he's ever had in his entire political career after doing all this stuff. And the deportations, all the shit is fantastic. It's exactly what the people voted for. We're just like 3 or 4 days in. So this is great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. What a great week. What a fucking week. What a week. What an absolute week. I just posted like an hour ago on Twitter. I said, declassify the Epstein list. You think we're going to get that next? What do you think, fam? Epstein next. I want to know who's on that Epstein list. I want to know. We all want to know. Let me bring up a couple other things on. Let's see if anything's trending. Trump is heading off to North Carolina and California for the devastation. A lot of people that have been living in tents and in temporary shelters are getting apartments in North Carolina. So that's fantastic. That's long overdue. A lot of people are clamoring for him to pardon Edward Snowden. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. What else is here at the top? President Donald Trump terminated Anthony Fauci's $15 million security detail last night, according to CNN. And CNN will lie wherever they can, but obviously they try to protect Fauci if they could. So I doubt they would lie about this, but good. I think he did that for John Bolton too, removing all this wasted spending for people that have no business having taxpayer-funded security. So that's good news. Good fucking news. I haven't seen this yet, but let's play this video too before we get to our first video. President Trump lays out 2 conditions for federal aid to California. Number 1, voter ID, and number 2, let the water flow. Let's play this clip. This is, I guess, from this morning, about an hour or 2 hours ago. I haven't seen this yet, so let's play it together. Why not? The President of the United States speaks. We listen because he's actually saying shit that's going to affect people. Finally, things are going to get done. Let's check this out.
Funding to Los Angeles because of its sanctuary city policy?
I want to see 2 things in Los Angeles. Voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote. And I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the 2 things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. I want the water to come down and come down to Los Angeles and also go out to all the farmland that's barren and dry. You know, they have land that they say is the equivalent of the land in Iowa, which is about as good as there is anywhere on earth. The problem is it's artificial because they artificially stop the water from going onto the land. So I want 2 things. I want voter ID for the people of California, and they all want it. Right now, you don't have voter ID. People want to have voter identification. You want to have proof of citizenship. Ideally, you have one-day voting, but I just want voter ID as a start, and I want the water to be released, and they're going to get a lot of help from the U.S. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a little while. We'll see you at the site.
Fucking goat. Man, that's great. Man, that's great. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice for shit to actually happen for once? You know, I think, again, I said this yesterday. People are in shock. People are in shock that someone got elected to do certain things because we know that politicians, or classically politicians, would say whatever they need to get elected. And Trump is literally going through executive offers, executive orders. Trump is going through executive orders, literally just checking off campaign promises that he's made. He's kept every single promise so far as I'm aware. Now, this doesn't mean that he might do other things that some people don't like or disagree with, but if he promised people that he was going to do A, B, and C, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's getting shit done. So it's really refreshing that people voted for a certain thing and it's happening. The people voted to get illegal criminals out of our country, and guess what? It started immediately. They're on fucking planes. Like, it's getting done. It's getting done. We're not even a week in. Got sworn in on Monday. So Monday was a half day. It's Friday. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then today. So it's been like 4 24-hour days. It's awesome. Good stuff. All right, let's move into those balls deep. I saw someone picked a number 1. Maybe it was Dr. Aaron. Let's get into it. This one's called Going Back to Work. Going Back to Work.
What's in the box?
Government employee, what's so ironic about all of this shit going on with Trump making us go in person 5 days a week to promote efficiency, and also establishing the Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE. What's really funny is because of all of this news and all of the change in policy, we are yapping more at work. We are trying to digest everything that's going on. We cannot get any work done because of how much information intake that existing in this administration.
Oh my God, I go to work and it's hard. There are things to do at work. Yeah, no shit. You didn't want to go to work because you can slack off at home and do nothing and collect a fucking paycheck. Cope.
Requires. And we're not yapping just to yap. We're yapping because every single day a memo comes down from God knows where.
I'm going to say maybe you're yapping because your job is worthless. So if the government's still churning and all you're doing is going to work yapping and now you're yapping on TikTok, it sounds like you can be fired and we wouldn't miss anything. It sounds like your job isn't valuable.
Telling us that there's a new rule that we need to enforce that for a job that does not relate to what we're doing.
So why are you yapping about it? So why aren't you doing your job then?
Like, oh, you work for the FDA, guess what? Now you're going to have to enforce immigration.
That's not a thing. However, you can't be hiring people that don't have documentation. They're not citizens. They're illegal. They're illegally in this country. If someone's illegally in my house, I want them the fuck out of my house. First off, they're not going to make it in my house because they get lead poisoning before they came over the threshold. So we have people that are not only illegally in this country, but they're raping our children. They're murdering our citizens. Yeah, they're a huge destructive force. Get them the fuck out. Get them the fuck out. Remove all incentives for illegal immigration. Illegal immigration. If you're in this country without documentation, guess what? You're a criminal. You're not here properly. You're a criminal. You're committing a crime. You're breaking the law. This does not mean if you come over on a visa and you're working towards citizenship, that's not without document, that has documentation. So it's not that anyone that isn't a citizen has to get kicked out. It's people that are illegally here, which only makes sense. We want the best and the brightest. We don't want the criminals and the scum of society into our country. Anyone surprised? Oh, logic and common sense. Oh no.
Any fucking federal employee, guess what? Go snitch on your fucking colleagues if they do anything related to DEI now.
Yeah, well, that's because it's racist garbage that goes against the morals and the foundations of our society. Yet these clowns had no problem snitching on people that didn't get experimental RNA gene therapy. Remember that? Oh, that's right. You didn't do that. Oh, you were just trying to protect grandma. Oh, you were doing that for the greater good, weren't you? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My body, my choice. Your body, my choice. That's what these communists love to spout. So, yeah, get fucked.
Like, this week has been such a whirlwind. I cannot get work done.
Sounds like you need to be fired. Sounds like you need to be fired. If you can't do your job, then you're not cut out for that job. So, Elon, Doge, start with this department. Cool. All right, good start. Pick a number 1 or 2. 1 or 2, drop in the comments. Pick a number 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Nick says, I find it funny that leftists are bitching about citizens getting rounded up in raids. Yet Tom Homan said, if you don't give us the violent criminals, we will do raids and take the non-violent ones too. If you are here illegally, you are a criminal. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you're a rapist and a murderer, but you broke the law. If you snuck across the border and you're in illegally, you are a criminal. You broke the law. You're going home. You're not getting whipped and beaten. You're just getting on a plane and we're taking you back. We're not putting you in gulags and making you slave labor. We're not executing people. You broke the law. We're sending you home. I think it's actually pretty gracious. So we're sending you back. You shouldn't be here. Naughty, naughty. I know Biden said it was okay. It's not. Bye-bye. That's all it is. That's all it is. We have laws in place. So you don't need we don't need new laws. We just need to enforce the ones that we have. They weren't being enforced. So the goal, I know, Nick, you're probably aware of this, of Tom Homan and anyone who's doing like the deportations, the goal is to incentivize people returning on their own account. If they know that, all right, the hammer's coming down, they're not going to find jobs. They're not going to get government aid. They're not going to get this. Why would they stay? Exactly. You're not going to get birthright citizenship just because you cross the border and pop out a baby in Texas. That baby's not an American citizen. You're a criminal. That's insane. That's insane. You should be a legal citizen. You should be either or in the process of getting documentation. And then there could be other considerations for that. But to get off a plane and to pop out a baby and to think that that kid's an American citizen is retarded. Like, if I go on a trip to Africa and we give birth in Algeria or something, it's like, why would that baby be Algerian? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. It's not the physical land. It's the actual acceptance into the culture and the assimilation and the intent behind it. You're a criminal. Why should a baby benefit from your criminal actions? It's like an extension and second order consequences of criminality. Anyway, okay. Michelle says the left makes so many wrong assumptions about the deportations. Do they though? Does the left make wrong assumptions or do they do it intentionally? I think it's the latter. I don't think they make wrong. I think a lot of them make wrong assumptions because they're ignorant. They don't have quality information. They're lying because they're watching MSNBC and CNN and they're getting lied to. So you have the ignorance and you also have the actual evil of people that are manipulating the truth in order, like saying that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute. They're manipulating the truth in order to justify a narrative. And this is what I posted, and I talked about it yesterday, the day before, that poll saying, if you failed miserably, if you got destroyed, let's just say you got destroyed in an election. Like you got absolutely destroyed in an election. Let's just say like the Democrats did in 2024. You just get hammered, right? Trump has a mandate, every swing state, popular vote, everything. Just hammer home. Trump won landslide. Would you change your tactics or do the same exact thing? 95 or whatever percent said I would change my tactics. Good, smart move. Because if you do the same shit, you're going to have the same outcome. But the left, the Democrats, no, they're going to dig in and keep on going. Now Elon's a Nazi. Now this, that, and the other. No one's buying it. That's why Trump won. The mainstream media knows that they're irrelevant. No one cared. They were wrong with all the polls. They were lying, and they got crushed. So they're going to continue to lie. They're done. They're done. Keep the pressure on. Ignore it. We're going to keep on making fun of it, but ignore it. Full steam ahead. Keep the pressure on. Light it up. Light it up. No one cares anymore. That's what the mandate said. The mandate said, we don't give a fuck about your stupid yapping bullshit. Just like that woman. Yap, yap, yap. They're just yapping. No one fucking cares. Oh, your feelings are hurt? Shut the fuck up. Oh, job is hard. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Fucking wear a helmet. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Quit. You're not relevant. If you can't get the job done, then you don't have the job. Sounds like you don't know how to do your job. All right, let's do this one. Talk about thin privilege. The other one's called interesting perspective, which I doubt. It's probably a garbage perspective. But let's play this one first. Talk about thin privilege.
What's in the box?
Talk about it.
Talk about thin privilege today because apparently when fat people talk about this, nobody listens. So here I am as a straight-sized person with thin privilege to tell you I can walk into any store pretty much and find clothes that fit me.
This isn't going to be nice, but I don't think you're thin. You don't look like you lift either. You look soft. Let's continue.
I can go to the doctor and the blood pressure cuff will fit me. I can fit into seats. I can buy one airplane ticket. Medications will work on me and I don't have to ask about what will happen if I weigh more. I don't need to worry about what the doctor will say about my weight. Nobody makes comments on the food that I eat. Nobody makes assumptions about my health based on what I look like negatively. And
I do. Wait. No, yeah. I will.
all of this is thin privilege. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't struggle with body image or that I haven't in the past.
Of
that
course.
doesn't mean that sometimes life is hard for me, but that is...
Oh my God, sometimes life is hard for you? Aww. Aww.
Not the same as weight discrimination. That is not the same as fat phobia, because I can get on in the world and people accept me and treat me with respect. When you are fat, you do not get that. And we need to acknowledge that.
I acknowledge that most fat people don't fucking care about themselves and don't put any effort in. What I don't like is when obese people pretend like they are virtuous for trashing their bodies and they deserve special privileges. This is the DEI push. All right. This is a DEI push. Just go read Animal Farm by George Orwell. right? It's always equality, 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 but you know, it's equality below me, right? It's always equality. Everyone's a victim. I'm a victim. I'm defending victims. But these people believe in hierarchies. These people believe in power. And that's all that they believe in. They only believe in power. They only believe in justifying their own ego. They're not compassionate. They just feign this compassion in order to shut down dissenting opinions. So not buying it. No one cares. Cry more. Stay fat and soft. You need to go to the fucking gym, by the way. Rufus, that's enough. Leave that dick alone. You don't have balls. All you have is a dick. You're going to lick it off. Stop licking your pee-pee. No pee-pee. No. Don't lick your dick. Don't do it. Don't do it. Good boy. Stop licking that fucking dick, boy. I wish I could lick my dick. All right. Interesting perspective. This is called interesting perspective. Interesting.
What's in the box?
I doubt it.
I have a really interesting perspective.
No, you don't. That's a fucking lie.
Shut up, bitch.
Stop it. When someone starts out a video, especially if it's in my folder, if someone starts a video saying, I have an interesting perspective, yeah, doubt it. I doubt it. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, even though I doubt it.
I have a really interesting perspective on weight and how people treat you differently. My whole life, like up until 18, I was very fit. I was, like a size 4, maybe 6 at my heaviest.
And then I just got fat.
Then I get married, then I have my first kid, and then I start taking SSRIs and I gain weight.
All right. Well, we're off to a good start. Okay.
And like the weight just keeps creeping up like each year. Probably like 2 years ago, I was at my heaviest, and I don't even want to say the number. I'm not like ready for that. But I'm down about 85 pounds now. But it has been so interesting because, some people are like, oh, I was heavy my whole life. I was like, no, I was not heavy my whole life. I was pretty thin most of my life.
Okay, I'm waiting for the interesting perspective. We got 20 seconds. You better shove it in there quick.
And let me tell you something. When you gain weight, people treat you like shit.
That's not an interesting perspective. Is that true? When you gain weight, people treat you like shit? I will continue to fight back on this. I'll rant in a second.
Literally, people don't hold the door for you. People aren't as helpful. It's insane. Like I've had both perspectives, and if you don't think people treat people who are heavier differently, you're wrong, because they do.
Okay. I will say this for the 1,000th time. You hate yourself when you're obese. You let yourself go. You treat yourself like shit. You took pharmaceutical drugs. You obviously weren't eating healthy. You're not training regularly. I can tell. You don't take care of yourself. You wonder why you're fat. And then people treat me. You hate yourself. You obviously hate the way you look. You hate the way you feel. I don't blame you. You're taking like brain numbing drugs and you're probably eating garbage. So you don't like yourself. The lens through which you experience life is misery. So everything around you is miserable. You're going to pick up on every little detail and microaggression. You're going to pick up on everything. Everything is a negative. The way someone looks at you, the way someone does or doesn't hold open a door. Some people just don't hold open doors, but you're going to notice it every time. Like, I'm too fat to have the door held open for me. Oh, open the fucking door yourself. You feminist idiots. You want everything the same as a man. A man can be a woman can be a man. There's no difference between men and women, but then you still want chivalry. You better make up your fucking minds. I'm so tired of this bullshit. You're going to kick and scream and complain about the patriarchy, but then you want a man to get on their fucking knees and hold open a door and worship the ground you walk on when you want to be a fucking whore in the streets. I'm not talking about her in general, but this whole feminist garbage. You want to be a whore, you want to have everything, your cake and eat it too, but then you want people to worship the ground you walk on. Go fuck yourself. Literally, seriously, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
This goes for the entire society. That just got me on a rant. Aside from her video, I mean, with that, if I knew that personality was in there, I probably wouldn't hold the door open. Now, I always hold the door open. If there's someone there for a dude, I'll hold the door open for a dude. If someone's in a wheelchair, I hold the door open. I'll help them get over the bump. Like, I'll help them get in the door. I always hold the door open. I don't care who it is. I'll hold the door open for a guy. I'd be like, hey, there you go. Oh, thanks. It's just general courtesy. But these women want everything. They want everything. They want the high-paying job that they don't deserve. That's what DEI is. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Oh, we can have this pathetic, retarded person and put them... We don't have any pathetic, retarded people. We don't have any vaginas in the C-suite. So let's promote this woman who has no skills, but hey, she has a vagina. So it's got to be good, right? Come on, man. Get fucked. You want equality, but then you want... Right? If you're equal, why don't you hold the fucking door open? You see what happens? And I'm not saying she hasn't put this together, but it's the society as a whole. So I understand she doesn't see the puzzle pieces. She doesn't see how this shit matches up. She just lives into this, goes into this world, gets brainwashed. Oh, this should happen. This should happen. This should happen. Why is no one holding a door open for me? That's what happens. That's what happens in society when, you know, you're a guy and you're trying to find a mate and you can't find them because they're just sucking dick on Tinder all day. And they could have the vast majority of women can access a small percentage of men. And this is a problem. There used to be small towns where you'd have beautiful women, right? In these small towns in the Midwest. Seriously. Small town in the Midwest, beautiful girl, and you would have someone who's, and this is not like degrading either way, but let me talk about this. Let's say you're in the middle of, I don't know, what's a small town these days? Somewhere in Kansas or Iowa, or who knows? There'd be a gorgeous fucking woman, and guess who she'd marry? She'd marry the guy who owned the feedlot, or he was a farmer. Or she would marry the local, he owned a mechanic shop, and they would have kids and a family, right? A hardworking man would find a beautiful woman. But now when you have Tinder, you can just swipe right on whatever you want. Women in the middle of nowhere in these small towns in Iowa or Idaho or Montana or Kansas or Texas or wherever it is. You have all these guys, professional athletes. You have people from all over the world sliding into their DMs. Hey, I'll fly you out. You have a small percentage of men that can, I'll fly you here on a date. Hey, we'll go to Cabo. We'll go to Paris. We'll do all this. And, oh my God. And then the mechanic doesn't have a chance. The local guy, hardworking dude who wants to have a family and settle down and have a wonderful life, doesn't have access to those women. So it just like, it bleeds out. And then you have a lot of just frustrating, depressed men who can't get a leg up, who can't, that's a huge part of it. That's a huge part of it. Because you're encouraging women to go to college, to get a job, to work their ass off, to sell their soul to a corporation who doesn't give a fuck about you. What do women mostly work in? Nurses, in supporting roles. Guess what a supporting role is? Being a mother, being a wife. And when I say supporting role, it doesn't mean that, oh, the woman and the wife has nothing to do in the household. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. But you still have a patriarchy. You still have a strong man, the father, and then you have the wife, the supporting role, and they're both at the top. So a woman that might work in management in a Fortune 500 company that doesn't care will have a bunch of layoffs because they're getting rid of DEI. They're frustrated. Now they're 35 years old. Sure, they might have made six figures, but now they're on Tinder. And guess what? Guess what the guys are going for on social media apps? They're going for the 22-year-old that hasn't been beaten down by life and hasn't been brainwashed as much. right? So then they're wondering why there's slim pickings. Most dudes don't want a boss bitch. If you're a successful guy, you don't want a go-getter. No, you want someone who's, childbearing age. You want someone who's innocent in the sense of they haven't been run through the ringer, because you're sending women into the workforce to take orders from some executive. That's supposed to be the husband and the wife relationship. And I'm not saying taking orders in that sense, but this is a patriarchy. Why? Because men are physically and mentally strong, and so are women, but we complement one another. So what men and women should be doing is creating their own. It's a company. When you have a family, it's a corporation. It's a little mini corporation. You got the head, you have your family unit. But the feminism and this kind of whack industrialization just breaks apart the family. And this is why the money printing is evil. This is why I'm a huge supporter and believer in Bitcoin, because when you're able to inflate the monetary supply, you're able to steal from the family unit. You're able to steal from hardworking people. And how are they stealing? Well, they print more money. So then the food is more expensive. And then daycare is more expensive. Or daycare is expensive. Who the fuck needs daycare? Now you need daycare because mom and dad both have to work to scrape to get by. So they can't even raise their fucking kids. And then they're raised by these deranged lunatics who didn't want to get a real job, and they're looking after your kids, or they're brainwashing them in grade school. Fix the money, fix the world. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. And guess what? The government gets to tax more people. If you have two people to tax versus one, well, now we can tax the mother and the father. And you're just slaving away. It's awful. It's terrible. But that's a huge part of it. The dating pool sucks. But this is why I tell people, when you go online, this is another problem. When you're doing things like social media, you're doing like dating, right? The problem that a lot of people have is that when they go on these apps and they go to create their profile, what do people do? When people create their profile, would you say the average person that makes a profile on one of these dating apps, do you think they put what is really true in their heart? Do you think they put that they want to find a husband or a wife and have a family? Or do you think they put what they think other people want to see and what other people will swipe right on? Obviously the latter. They're going to try to create a profile that will look attractive to other people. And guess what? They're going to get that. And that's not authentic to who they are. And they're going to be miserable. And women that sleep around are not happier. They're not happier. They're missing that connection. You sleep with a man, like you're just sleeping around. It's like a Horcrux from Harry Potter. You're giving pieces of your soul away. You're shattering your soul by sleeping around with a lot of different partners. More so for a woman than a man. But it does go both ways. And that's why you have a lot of broken women that are in their 30s and have a career. Cool. But they're miserable. Why? Well, and that's why they formulate and funnel all this anger and anguish. They get 10 cats and they start yelling Orange Man bad. It's because they have a lot of pent up aggression and they don't know why. And they justify not having kids and they become pro-abortion and women's rights. It's my body, it's my choice, because they're trying to justify their terrible decisions that they regret. I'm not saying across the board every single person, but that's a really good framework for in general what's happening. All right, let's do throwback, and then we're going to go into overtime in the Daily Swole Telegram chat, so you can start heading on over there. Let's do this one. Maybe do one or two. Let's do this one.
A kid.
Here we go again.
Finding books that contained positive representation of fat people was next to impossible.
Well, yeah.
We were portrayed as lazy and unlovable.
That's what you are.
Yeah, let's promote being fat and lazy.
Fat people are not monsters.
You're not fat by accident. You're fat as a product of your habits. And sometimes you have bad habits for so long, your body gets fucked. It still doesn't mean that it's not a product of your habits.
I can't stop eating.
Fat bastard. My neck looks like a vagina. Let's do another one. Dear cis allies. Oh, suck a dick.
If you're cis, I want you to message the trans person in your life and ask them what is one thing that you can do to lighten their load this week. Whether that be grocery shopping, folding laundry.
I'm not, look, you choose your own fucking burden. You're doing this out of a choice. You can make whatever argument, you can say, like, you're doing this.
With the burden that we're carrying, because we're having to deal with all of this stuff right now.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
And the regular life stuff that we deal with is life stuff.
Life
and
stuff?
then there's transphobia and living as a trans person in the world. And then there's what's going on right now, which is all of that combined. And then send that trans person $5 so they can get themselves a treat.
No.
Fuck you, you little piece of shit.
Jesus Christ. Aren't you glad that we're done with this shit? Now, I don't think we're done with this shit, but aren't you glad that we, on a societal level, across the board, people are openly, we've been doing this for years, but openly, fuck this nonsense. It feels really good that a lot more people are like, yeah, this is insane. Let's not pretend that this hasn't been bad for 4 years. That's what you're going to get from a lot of the liberal cope. They're going to be pretending like this wasn't going on. Oh, it's been going on. Why do you think Trump won? Again, there's a reason why Trump swept. There's a reason why Trump absolutely swept. It's because this shit was overwhelming and people overwhelmingly. That's why we have hope. That's why people that voted for Trump. That's why a lot of us have like these chills and goosebumps because of what's going on right now. We have hope that if Trump didn't win this past election, it would have been bad for many other reasons. I think the worst reason would have been seeing what happened over the last 4 years. One, maybe the voting is completely rigged. But it would have been just demoralizing for the culture. Like, oh, we're done. That would have been a bigger thing. If you don't see what's happening, if you didn't see what was happening over the last 4 years from the start, worst presidency in history. If you didn't see what was happening over the last 4 years and you voted for Kamala Harris, like that would have just been demoralizing, not just from what would have happened. It would have just been more of the same. It would have just continued to. I think it was the fact that America is still there. That we're still there. The people are still there. They're just starting to pay attention because, hey, guess what? This is what happens. Going back to what I was ranting about before, you have two parents that have to work their ass off. They can't pay attention to they can't listen to Joe Rogan, 3-hour podcasts all the time. They got to go to work and then pick the kids up and then make dinner and they're getting 5 hours of sleep and they're stressed out because their bills are going through the roof and their groceries went from $100 a week to $400. Like, how the fuck are we going to survive? Their credit debt is going through and they're dying out there. People are literally fucking dying. So the fact that people woke up and across every, not just one swing state, not two, but all fucking 7 or whatever it was. It's just like, oh my God, we're not gone. We have a chance. People woke the fuck up. If it gets bad enough, people will wake the fuck up and just keep it on. Keep it on. The communists, the liberals, the Democrat establishment, they would be continuing to stick their boot on your fucking neck. Do not give an inch. The thing is, you have to extract and eliminate down to the last fucking crumb. And I don't mean physical violence. I mean just culturally. You have to make fun of it. You have to make fun of it. You have to laugh at it on its face. You have to. And I'm not saying this to be mean, but bullying, or at least being critical, is very important because it keeps a culture in check. It allows people to know what and what is not acceptable. And we let a lot of shit go. We let the lunatics run the asylum for more than 4 years. We let them get away with trashing Trump for 4 fucking years because most people weren't paying attention. After the disaster that was Obama and Obamacare and that garbage, Trump came in, was holy shit. It was a shock and people were still in the matrix. I wasn't paying attention. Most people weren't. I was working, building the business, this, that, and the other. But when it's obvious, and it's just great that the country came together. And it feels like for the first time since, honestly, unfortunately, since 9/11 that everyone was on the same page. And that was a scam. But at the same time, that kind of feeling across the board is just like, okay, we have a collective consciousness. People are on the same page. People have woken up. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying the classic thing is that, oh, the pendulum will swing back. I agree. The pendulum does swing. But with how bad the 4 years were with Biden, I do not think in 4 years people are going to vote for, they know. Democrat is essentially a slur now. You do not want to be one of those idiots. You don't. Do you think in 4 years people are going to vote for trans stuff again? They know. Because if you're voting for a Democrat in 2028, you're voting for women and men's bath. You're voting for the same shit that we went through from 2020 to 2024. And we're talking like on TikTok, Trump won like the youth vote by 33. That doesn't disappear, yo. Republicans, conservatives, whatever you want to call them, America First, they're the ones that are having kids. The liberals aren't having kids. So those children are going to grow up and they're going to vote with logic and common sense. More people are homeschooling. This is like a generational shift. Not to mention, I don't even know who the fuck the Democrats would run in 2028. Republicans have such a deep bench. Not that Elon's going to run, but you have Vivek, you have JD, you have Tulsi Gabbard. You have a lot of strong, with logic and common sense. And how can you lose? How can you lose going America first? If we go America first hard, like Trump is doing for the next 4 years, you think that's going to disappear? Nah, we could be last again. Fuck that. Last 4 years was so scarring. And it was even better. And I think a lot of you would agree. The fact that Trump lost, I know the last 4 years was miserable, but the last 4 years was necessary. And that's why Trump won. You had Trump and the mainstream media, oh, he's evil, he's Hitler, he's literally Hitler, and then Trump won, and then Biden won. Yay! It was a fucking disaster from the beginning. Disaster. And everyone's like, oh, fuck that. Trump was actually amazing. And now he's crushing it. Those people are literally traumatized. Most people that are waking up, not to mention he freed Ross Ulbricht. He's going to get the libertarian vote. The Republicans are going to get that for, that's a lot of leverage. People don't understand how important that was. There's a lot of shit that's happening. And all the billionaires and people that are waking up, like there's a lot of stuff that's changed since 2021, 2022, that it's going to be very hard to go back. Let's get some comments. We'll give away the Swole card, but let's get some comments. Let's see. Positive charisma. Trump had to prove himself to me, and I voted for him the first round feeling unsure. He definitely won me over, and I did not regret my vote. It made me more passionate about voting for him this time. Good for you. Likewise. I don't think I voted in 2016. I don't remember. That was a blurry time period. That was right before that was when I started Swole Enormous. I started posting some stuff, but I didn't start the podcast until 2016 March. What the election was in 2016, right? Yeah, the election was. Yeah, that was a blur. I don't remember, but I voted for Trump in 2020 and 2024. Elizabeth says you don't want to be a liberal. That's far worse than a Democrat. RFK Jr. is a Democrat. And well, look, I mean, and I'm not an expert on all the details, but there's classical liberal, right? Look, you go back. Yeah, you have to be specific, but I get your point. Right on. You don't want to be a retard. And I think the crazy thing is that how can you talk, if you're a part of the government, if you're in this country, how can you say you don't support America first? What are we doing here if we're not America first? If you're in Poland, I would expect for you to be Poland first, wouldn't you? If you're in Russia, I would expect for you to be Russia first. If you're in China, you probably want to be China first. If you're in India, you probably want to be India first. If you're in Zimbabwe, you probably want to be Zimbabwe first. If you're in Australia, you probably want to be Australia first. If you're an American, you probably want to be America first. Oh my God. I'm going to put myself first? Yeah. It's not like rocket science. I want America to be put first by Americans and by the government that we elect. All right, let's get with the Swole card and let's go into overtime. Hashtag America the Swole. America the Swole, baby. I am sweating my ass off. I'm shedding the cloak of judgment. Hold on. Judgment cloak. I have to take the camera off so you don't see my dick because I'm hanging dong, of course. Got to get a good hang. Air out the boys. This is what I'm rocking is the oversized T, but this is the XL. So I wear the, let me see. A little sweaty. So this is the large. I like the XL because more oversized, but this is still, even the large is a good oversized. It's just not necessarily oversized for enough for me, but it depends on how oversized you want it. That's what she said. Because penis. All right.
Because dickens.
And actually, I'm trying some new. So this, we have the Swole Enormous. I'm getting a couple designs in where it's like huge. I'm getting the GT, like big. So we're going to see what the big looks like. Let's fucking go. All right. What are we doing here? America the Swole. Let's give away the Swole card. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, Falcon. Pick me a winner, you talent whore. Oh man, that Cloak of Judgment was hot as fuck. 48% of voters voted for Camel Toe. America, sick fucking gains. Shed your gains on me and spread those gains and make me swole. The Swole card goes to Mess 41.
Congrats
on Rumble. The motherfucking MES. You guys got to drop that hashtag a little bit more. Congratulations. Mess sent us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3185 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. I got to get some new soundboards.
Come on, man.
I need some new soundboards. I need to spend some time and get some new soundboards. It is time. All right. Overtime starts right now. Why don't we head on over to the Daily Swole Telegram chat? Thanks for being here, Beaches. Let's hit that. Overtime begins right now.
Finish him.
Indeed. All right. Overtime hath begun. Head on over to the Daily Swole Telegram chat if you're not a member. Specials end this Sunday to join the fam over at swolenormousx.com. Big time specials, 3-month and annual. Don't fuck around. Join the fam today. Get access to all the exclusive live streams. We got a couple DWG throwbacks and some new balls deep edits. It's going to be fun, and it starts in 2 minutos. Thanks for being here. We will see you then. We'll see you right now. So, Daily Swole Telegram chat. We're starting in 2 minutes. Thanks for being here. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
I just wanna win on the low, like you making demands, I said whoa. I just wanna win on the low, like you making demands,
We choose truth over facts.
I just wanna win on the low.